Yo, what up? What up? What up, Phil? Hit the link in the bio, man. Free Agents Podcast is live. Yo, yo. Yo, link in the bio. What up? What up? What up? Um, Free Agents Podcast is live now. Click the link in the bio. Come on over. What up? What up? We got family in the building. What up, B Winnie? What up, Michelle Tebow? Click the link in the bio. Free Agents Podcast. We live. Russ, Marlon, what's good? Yo, y'all hit the link in the bio. Free Agents Podcast is live right now. Finna get it cracking. What up? What up? Stop it, Michelle. Stop it.
What's going on, everyone? What is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Free Agents Podcast. As always, it's not just me. I got my fellas with me today, and today is actually going to be a very special podcast because it's not just us today. We also have a special guest. So, without any further ado, let me go ahead and do what I do, which is bring on everyone. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on?
Game time, baby.
What's up, man.
Brothers? How y'all doing?
People still buzzing from last week, man. Last week was good.
Still getting people talking about it and laughing at us, laughing at ourselves.
Yeah, that was it. All right, so how y'all brothers feeling today? How are y'all defining yourselves? So why don't you go ahead and start and introduce yourselves? Let's start with my man Bel-Ami.
Don't start with me, bro. I'm still trying to get this shit figured out,
man. You was looking a little lost. I was like,
you can tell. So look, the whole time everybody's saying that they could hear my mic, but I had my mic turned off, which was not making sense.
We could hear you. It was like, what up, what up, what up? Yo,
he was pranking us.
Tune into the link.
That was crazy.
And there was no music, by the way. So, but it's cool. You know,
there was no music. Nobody heard music.
Mm-mm.
If you're in the chat, let me know if you heard music.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna edit that part out for the.
If you're in the chat, let me know if you heard music because everybody should have heard music.
Unless you high as hell.
I see we got Cherie in here. We got
That's right, Pat Kadre. What's up? And we got 6 other people. They just
Six
kinda
other
said
people.
hi.
We don't know who or where they at, but we know y'all are here. Let us know. Did y'all hear the music? Y'all should have heard music that whole time.
What up? What up? What's cracking?
It was like, yo, Marlon Russ, what's up, yo?
Click the link. Click the link in the
Because
bio.
Michelle post. I was on IG Live, and Michelle was like, "Oh, I'm with Russ and Marlon." I was like, "Oh, what up?" So I'm just talking. That boy said he heard no music, just white noise.
Just white noise.
Bruh, come on. It's
better.
been one of them days, man. It's been one of them days. Listen, I'm finding freedom in the fact that I don't have to be perfect.
That's right.
To be valuable.
That's a good one.
To be valuable.
That's good. That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Because right now my perfection is lacking.
Man, you know what, but I'm gonna counteract that, bro. Like, your efforts are dope, and everything that you're doing is making sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
hey,
it's like,
both CNTS and the other sense.
yeah, both of the sense.
Hey, man, listen, I claim it. I receive all of that, bro.
Exactly, man. So when you always hitting A's, if you make a B, I mean, I'm not tripping
That's
on
true.
it.
That's true. That's true.
Get a triple. Stop hitting these goddamn home runs, nigga.
You know, that's not a big thing.
Yeah, I always try to knock out the park and shit.
I appreciate that. But yeah, that's how I'm finding freedom today. How about you, Ricky?
That's what's up, man. For the one time, I'm gonna be a little sentimental. Today, my dad actually came into town, and I haven't seen him, God, in years. But
Wow.
I had to relinquish my animosity and my holding a grudge against my dad. You know what I'm saying? Because now he has some type of issue with his eyes where he's not seeing that well. You know what I'm saying? So I had to give up one thing, my grudge and being mad at him not being here, and actually define my freedom by saying I'm free from it by being able to help my old man out. So I had to go pick him up, take him to get a haircut, take him to get some clothes, like literally walking around with him. So that's how I was able to define my freedom today. Completely letting go of pain and, you know, holding grudges and all that stuff. So that was how I defined my freedom today.
Nice. What about you, Mr. Elbow Greasy?
Yeah, man. I had a rough week too, man. I had a little curveball thrown at me. My sixth graders tried to storm the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? Try to storm the God, man. I'm, working with my student during office hours on a Friday afternoon, going over prime factorization. You know what I'm saying? Because I decided to throw variable exponents up in there. You know what I mean? And so then one of the students was like, I don't like the way Mr. Holmes spoke to me, so we just going to show up to his office hours and just stare at him on Zoom. I was like, yo. So they kept coming in the office hours and hey, how's it going? Okay, did you need help with something? No, we're just here. Okay. Well, I can set up a separate time for you to come in, but I'm trying to create a safe space for my students to feel vulnerable to share out their. I gotta go, so bye. You know what I'm saying? So this kept happening. You know what I mean? Kids kept coming in and they saw me there going over something like, oh, never mind, bye. And so I think for me is finding freedom is defining my freedom is finding empathy. You know, not to get upset with these kids. Know that they're going through it. They don't know who's gonna live or die in their family, and they haven't seen their friends. So, hey, what are you gonna do? You storm my Zoom room. You know, you storm the Capitol. You know what I mean? Take it out on who you love the most. And I'm showing them the love. They just don't know how to receive it. So, it's all good.
Man. It's some patronizing little shits, but I understand. You know?
You got that cough already,
right?
You gave me that COVID, man. I'm sorry.
That COVID ass cough over here. Keep that shit,
to me, man.
Oh, thank you, Cherie. Appreciate you.
Yeah. What up, Eric? By the way, what up,
Eric
Dez? Noel.
We see y'all.
So I'm finding freedom. Time, man. Time. Like Friday, I told my wife on Thursday, and maybe I ain't gonna say exactly how I said it to my wife. I was just like, I need some time. I was like, I've been in the house with these kids for 3 weeks, and
Wait,
you know,
when I called you, you're like, "Hey, Derek, what are you doing?" I'm on me time, okay? I was like, "Oh, I can call you back." I'm having a salad. Is that okay? I was like, Derek, sorry.
First of all, I don't sound like that.
He gave me all the extra me time. I'm like, oh shit.
So, and I mean, the sad thing is, I had to eat the salad in the car because I was afraid to eat it in the mall.
Why can't you eat a salad in the mall, man?
Because there's people in the mall and we live in COVID.
Because you got to take your mask off to eat it.
Yeah.
I thought there was someone else in the car because he's taking it. Oh, put this over here. Don't put this over here. He set his meal up in that car, dog.
Because initially I was going to eat it inside, and I was like, man, there's too many people walking around.
Bro, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you one bit.
He's like, I ain't going to that dirty ass mall.
The crazy thing is, in the name of the mall, this is where I went to this mall too, because I was like, this is interesting. It was Willowbrook.
Wow.
It's a Willowbrook Mall?
Yeah, it's a Willowbrook Mall in Jersey. Yeah.
That's funny. I live in Willowbrook too.
So I was like,
hold on. We gotta ask, what's the riskiest COVID shit you done?
Who, me?
Out in the mall. Anybody, man.
Ooh.
The riskiest COVID. I mean, very early on, I went to Walmart with no mask, and then a week later, I caught COVID. So
yeah, Walmart is just a place where people who had COVID would just be.
It just so happened to be.
Man, it was like early on. I was like, man, ain't nobody catching no COVID. I ain't wearing no mask.
Wow.
It's like you were the dude in the line fight somebody who said put on the mask on YouTube.
Now this is before masks were like heavy. Like it was just like wear a mask or not, you know. Who knew people were like, you can wear masks, you wear gloves, you don't have to wear gloves, you might not necessarily have to wear masks. And so I was just like,
wasn't the gloves period the wildest period?
Gotta wear gloves. Like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry.
It's like, nigga, you wearing gloves to touch door handles,
yourself.
but you eating your sandwich with your gloves.
Makes
You just
absolutely
gonna
no
chomp
sense.
on your COVID, huh?
and then people leaving gloves out everywhere, like they use condoms.
Gloves and masks all over the place.
Oh no.
No, that's real.
I remember getting on a plane, and this was January, and there's a lady next to me, and she sprayed down a whole seat, wiped it down, and I wanted to say, like, what the fuck is it? But I was like, you know what? It must be some shit. I'm just not comfortable wiping everything down. But it was ill. I would be on the plane, mask, gloves, you know what I mean? So,
well, bro, that's the riskiest thing you did. Now wipe everything down on the plane. Nigga, I flew and I wiped everything, every single thing, every inch of that seat. It was cloth. It was a cloth seat too. It wasn't one of the leathers easy to wipe. No, it was cloth.
What month was this? This
was in July.
I'm flying next Monday. I bought a human condom. I'm like a human sized condom. I'm just gonna put it on.
Wait a minute.
What?
I'm just gonna roll myself into a condom and sit down.
That can't do this.
So you're just gonna be a dick, huh?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
You know,
not gonna do this.
Now that's what you literally call self-protection, huh?
That's right.
Anyway.
Oh God, what were we? I'm sorry, I got lost.
I don't know.
We're on the rules. Let's just get to the rules, guys.
Yo, the rules here are very simple. And I forgot it. The rule is
Yo, I like it. Say it to my face. Don't you always say that shit?
Yeah, I say something like that, man. I have these spills like written out, and I go over them in my head, and they just sound much cooler when I don't say them. You know what I'm saying? When I start actually saying them, it just comes out weird. Anyway, thank you, Derek. Today is a different day.
It's that day, yeah.
Yo, it's think and speak freely. Listen, here on the Free Agents Podcast, we seek to have the conversations that are difficult to have. And in our quest to just find freedom and understanding, we also understand that the only thing between understanding is conversation. So we're going to have those conversations here. If you hear some things you don't like, hey, listen, jump in here. We have a backstage pass that I'm going to post in the chat right now. And if you got something to say it to our face.
Yeah. And even if you like it.
Yeah, if you like
jump
it.
Back.
There it is. That's the backstage pass. I know some people were going to use it. Some of our regulars. I see them in here. But yeah, also feel free to ask questions in the chat. We always look at the chat. We just like your exes. We stay in your DMs.
That's right.
And so we're going to answer everything. And if you would like to ask something throughout the show, or if you just want to wait till the end of the show and we get to the Q&A portion, you can use either the chat or the link above for that. That's it. House rules. Think and speak freely. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I'm cracking up, by the way, because our special guest is back here laughing. I'm enjoying that. That. So, all right. So, here are the topics for today. It's an interesting one. Because it is Women's History Month, we decided that we should, focus on some womanly topics. And I know that some of y'all might not think these are womanly, but they are in some way, shape, form, or manner. Here we go. Who would like to read these off today?
Go for it, buddy.
I got it. All right. So if you haven't watched Coming to America, this will be a spoiler podcast. So we're going to talk about it. And you should have already seen it. Everybody's been waiting 30 years for it. So you should have saw it when it came. But yeah, so we're going to talk about it. That's definitely number one on the list. Now, all these other ones, it's really up to you. 2 through 7, you can type us in and let us know. Riding the Crimson Wave, if you want to know what that is.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Pornhub and chill. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. My platonic friend, platonic in quotation marks. We're going to talk about that. Dating Defined, money and relationships, and women, female, bitch. What's in a name?
What is happening?
Everything is happening, man. But these are some of the topics that we are going to discuss, and keep your eyeballs locked on them real quick because we are going to take a short break. And in honor of Coming to America, we actually have a special video to show. Mr. Bel-Ami, would you like to?
I'm queuing this up.
No, I mean you can talk about it, and I'll definitely queue it up.
Yeah. So so a few years ago, I was inspired to write this song about my queen, and it's called Queen. And I didn't have a spiel planned out for this one.
It's all good.
But no. Wrote the song a few years ago. Really good friend of mine. Every time I would listen to the song, I would envision her as like being a part of this video. Her name is Seneca Dunmore. Shouts out to Seneca if you're watching this. But she is featured in the video, and she came up to New York. We shot the video, and the theme of it was Coming to America, the original one. So as you watch the video, if you can point out any of the themes in here, or a lot of the odes to, or the homages that we paid to the original movie, let us know in the chat. And so it's themed around Coming to America. Just released it yesterday, and it's available on. Go to YouTube and type in Bel-Ami and Queen, Belami. Matter of fact, we'll post it in the chat. We'll post the link to the video in the chat where you can actually take a look at this video, Queen. It's out now. Thank you.
Yes, and I am trying to load that in. So give me 1 second.
Load it into the thing? You can't load into the thing. It won't.
No. I'm trying to. Here it is. I got it. I see it. It
was like,
that's not it either.
And action.
It's not pulling up the.
What?
Come on now,
dude. I really love that song though, man. I had to repost it on my IG because I was like, it brought a little small tear to my eye. I was like, man, that was nice. You get that shaky voice. It was like, that was just a nice song, man.
You know what? Hold on. No, I got the video up now.
Shouts out to Bobby Earth, who produced my brother Moon Rocket, and played organ on it and produced as well. Brother Henny played bass on it, and my boy Bel-Ami, who did everything else. Shouts out to my queen, Malika Bel-Ami. She helped shoot it. My brother Kel L helped shoot it as well.
Nice.
And my brother V Ferg help shoot the video.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, y'all ready? Y'all
Yeah.
want me to go full screen? Y'all want to react to the video as you watch it?
Well, we can react.
Let's react.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen.
Make sure everybody's mic is on mute, though.
Yeah.
Non-verbal reactions.
I give you Queen. Except for my mic, I can't be on mute. I forgot.
Right. I don't hear no music.
You don't hear the music?
Nah.
Oh, man.
And, of course, Malika says, you're welcome.
Yay, Malika.
Absolutely. Thank you. Can you watch this on YouTube, please? Not Facebook. Thank you. Or Twitch. One of them. Not Facebook. All right. How about them Cowboys, right?
Yo.
Y'all can hear the music now?
No, we can't hear the music.
But yo,
You have got to be kidding me.
I tell you, like I told you before,
Pharaoh.
your visuals are as good as music, my brother.
They really are.
Thank you. You know what's crazy part, man? And since while you guys are thinking about topics that you guys want to discuss, make sure you post them in the chat. We can't hear the audio still. Yeah.
All right. Well, guys,
here's the thing.
I don't know what to do.
No, wait, hold on. Let the video keep playing. Bel-Ami, you were talking. No, come on.
Yeah. So here's the thing, man. And the reason why this video came out when it did is because I honestly was really self-conscious about the visuals, because I just felt like I could have done a better job with it, and I never felt like it was up to par for, I guess, what I envisioned myself putting out. And so, like, I was literally in my own way for years. I was in my own way for years, even releasing the song. I didn't release the song until 2019. But the song was done. Here we go. I wrote the song in 2014. Got it. That was my original writing and recording of it. And then I got it worked on. My brother Moon Rocket, he took it to another level, and everything was done in 2016. It was done, completely done, audio. And shot the video in 2016, October 2016. And I finished editing it probably like early 2017, and it's just been sitting. And
since 2017 it's been sitting?
Yeah, it's been sitting on my in my Dropbox.
Wow.
In my Dropbox. And I so yeah, this whole time it's just been sitting there. And just recently, Malika always pushes me on, you should just put it out. Erica, you should just put it out. And then recently, it just, I don't know, as I've been on this in a different flow of just like releasing things, getting stuff out, like it's helped me. That practice of putting stuff out has helped me, because everything I go back and look and I'm like, that was whack, but whatever, it's out, it's done. And I don't have such an attachment to it. And so then recently Seneca just posted something, and it was like, stop dwelling. You should do more doing and less dwelling.
Yeah, bro.
And then that just kind of hit me somewhere, and that coupled with everybody else at this time, I was like, you know what? Coming to America's coming out too. Eventually, this is not going to be relevant after the second one comes out, or at least I don't know if it will. Yeah. So I was like, it's just got to be out. And so,
dude, that's crazy. I was thinking about this as you're talking. Like, I think the only bad content is the one that you don't put out, and the one that you put out that's not relevant to what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So everything that you put out is relevant to what you're talking about. So it's not bad at all. It's like, no, that's what you do. And whatever you put out, you learn something from it when you think it's bad, because somebody will always have something to say anyway. It's like, I saw that dude who looked like a pharaoh, but his left nipple looked weird. It's like, what?
right. Yeah.
But I got you to watch it, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean? So there's no bad. So yeah, stop being hard on yourself, bro.
I'm trying to, man. I'm trying to lean in and just give myself a little bit more compassion, man. Just be a little softer on myself.
Yeah, it's like sperm. 400,000 jokers goes out, but then only one of them land. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I was thinking of when I was thinking about the video. I was like, sperm.
Yep,
That's
that's
what
it.
comes to mind.
That was
You
it
know?
right there.
It's a whole lot of them.
Eric says facts.
You see, thank you, man. It's a whole lot of them you put out there, but only one lands. You know,
Yeah.
some go land.
Hey,
but if you
man.
hold on to
Or
it,
you
then
might
catch
get
blue
some twins.
balls.
You might get some paternal twins or fraternal twins, and then boom.
Yo, listen. Bottom line here is there's a lesson. There's a lesson in this, and it doesn't have anything to do with blue balls
or sperm.
or sperm. But yeah, man, it was one of those things, man. I'm glad I did, because when I took a final look at it to put it out, and I uploaded it and I watched it, I'm like, bro, I was tripping, man. I like this. This is dope.
Yeah,
it's really dope.
And I literally, when I tell you, I did nothing to it. I did nothing to it. I haven't touched it. I haven't edited it at all since 2017. It's just been sitting.
Wow.
So,
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
people have gone on with their lives, got other careers,
right.
put out more albums. So my bad. Look, guys, technology is a mother, and I have a PC, but it's all going to change one day. I'm praying to God that I'll be blessed with something better, so I can be able to show you all stuff. So
I can play it. Well, we'll just play it next time, or later.
Yeah, we can end with
moments
it.
Past. Yeah.
Let's end with it.
All right. So with that being said, let's jump into some topics, shall we? And the number one topic is, of course, coming to America. What's y'all's thoughts? First of all, did everybody see it? Because you were supposed to watch it.
Yeah.
All right.
We saw
okay.
it.
All right.
Definitely watched it. The funny thing about it, in my mind, I imagine it being just as like crude and dirty as the first one, but it wasn't. I mean, I expected another nipple scene with the girls coming out of the,
Now they had the halter tops on this.
Yeah, they had halter tops on with, and I saw the naked bra. I was like, okay, they're not naked this time. You know what I mean? And so it was
naked. You just had to squint.
No, they weren't naked. They had on like
naked.
they had like flesh tone like halter tops.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Trust me, I was looking. Not like in a perverted way, but I was looking.
Right. In a perverted way that you squint really hard to see in between somebody's costume.
Hey, come on, man.
So, but I did like the fact that, they found a way to integrate, like the current culture, with what's your girl name? Taylor. What's her name?
Tiana Taylor.
So it was nice how they brought salt and pepper back in, and it made it old but relevant and then new. So it was super dope, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the fight scene between Wesley and Arsenio.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was good. So for me, it was just nostalgic, man. Like it just brought me back to high school and college. Like when I end up rewatching Coming to America with like friends and stuff, like, saw it when I was 12 when it came out. So saw it, in middle school, but then it, like, when I really was able to fully understand it and watch it again in like high school and in college, like it just brought those feelings back to me. I didn't think it was, I don't know. I don't like not necessarily as funny, but and I think my wife was saying this too. But I think for me, it was just like, it was interesting that like you said, they were trying to skirt on certain things. I did think it was pretty cool and creative that they just basically retold the same story, just from like, it was a mirror image, a mirror reflection of the story.
Yeah.
And so like, I thought that was pretty cool. So, but yeah.
I definitely agree with the nostalgia part of it. So I watched the original right before, just because I was like, let me just watch it right before it, so I could pick up on the subtle things that they changed or that they tried to touch on. And it was interesting because like I was just finding things that I hadn't found before, like the fact that in the very first scene on the first one, James Earl Jones was like, oh, you have a mustache. And she's like, oh, it's been a year. And it was just like the disconnect of the king to his own son. Like, I think that played a really I think they did a really good job of setting the stage for like why traditional things have, or a lot of times new technologies or new ways of thinking, oftentimes traditional ways of thinking don't align or don't even understand how these things happen. And I just thought that was a really cool way they established that distance between the two. And so it made me kind of look for those things in this next one, and I also found it interesting. And one of the things that they touched on was like, you say you're going to do a lot of things, but you end up doing the same thing. Right. And
yeah, that was another one.
In today's political landscape, yeah, I think that's extremely relevant, but yeah, I thought it was really good, really well done. I mean, I like how they even said like sequels. They were talking about sequels that don't need to be made. And it's just kind of like, hey, we don't take ourselves too seriously. And we're just making a fun movie. We're not trying to get an Oscar. We're trying to make a fun movie that we know millions of people want to watch because they've been waiting on it. And, I'm thankful that, that everybody survived long enough and is in, right mind and healthy enough to, or at least enough people to be able to do a remake like that. So like, I think it's a very special thing.
Yeah, that was what was really crazy to me is that like I was like, man, it's been 30 years and all these people,
and they look good.
Yeah, like literally look just like the same.
My man, Queen to be, what's his name?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have his picture in here. Is he? Yeah, right here. Here he is.
Yeah, like I was like, yo, I have not seen this man in another movie in 30 years.
30 years.
And he stayed the same size and the same everything so he could make this movie.
What was also cool is like this dude right here.
The third one.
Yeah.
Yeah, who is that dude?
Who is that?
I thought, first of all, I was like, he was old in the first one, like really old. Like these, like they all should be dead, right? But of course, they're being played by, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. I was like, the old dude, I was like, he definitely should be like, he was old in the first one. Yeah, he's still around.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, did you notice how they did the deep fake? That was pretty dope too. When it was in the club. So they did deep fakes for Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy's face.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. And they did it for all the extra scenes that the house scene when they went back and got busy. And yeah, I noticed that. I thought it was pretty cool.
That what was one of the biggest things I got from this is like, speaking of the fact that we were free agents, like the ability to be free, even though you have these tradition, you have these standards. There's like, I still want to be free to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? Which is something that he realized towards the end. It was like, wait, this little boy doing the same thing I did. I wanted to leave my country and go somewhere else and find who I want. I want to marry who I want to marry. You know what I mean? So they technically define their freedom in coming to America.
Yeah,
coming to America.
So Des asks, did they ever say what happened to the Queen? They didn't say in the movie, but I think it can be assumed that she passed before because they did pay give her a little shout out towards the end when they were like, what would your mom say about this? And but I looked it up, and because we were wondering too, like, why wasn't she in the movie? Well, apparently she died from a struggle with leukemia.
Oh wow!
And she died in '95. So, and it said after a 13-year battle. So she was battling leukemia even through the taping and filming of this movie or of the original, because that one came out in '88. So,
so when did they film? Because
they filmed at Tyler Perry Studios.
Yeah. That was in Georgia.
Oh, nice.
I thought John, not John Amos, the guy who plays Darth Vader, who's the father,
James Earl Jones.
Yeah, I thought he died a long time ago.
No, he was one of the people who they fake killed on Google. You know how people just be like, oh, so and so died.
Right.
He's still alive?
Yeah.
I thought James Earl Jones been dead.
Nah. They just kill him and everything.
Shut up. No,
they do.
Yeah.
And they know the guy. No, so the guy who actually played Darth Vader, not James Earl Jones, he was just a voice. But the guy who played Darth Vader died.
James Earl Jones never died. Yeah, he died.
Mufasa died.
Mufasa. I was just saying, you're thinking the same thing I was thinking. Mufasa died.
Oh wow!
He just turned 90.
I've been thought he was dead, man.
No,
he turned
bro.
90 a few weeks ago. I mean, and they also, I thought that was pretty cool. He had like a living funeral, and he was like, he died on his own terms.
Yeah,
I like that.
He's like, I'm going to die now. So,
hey man, midnight Train to Zamunda.
Yeah,
this has some very wild, right?
Yeah, this has some very Wakandian influence in it. It's very Wakandian.
Isn't it cool though? Isn't it cool though that now kids will come up like with these two really, really profoundly like effective movies to just like, I don't know, just celebrating African culture and African American culture in particular. In the tie between the two, like we never got like the tie between the two. Like Coming to America didn't really, like there was still so much disconnect. Like there was never an attempt in the original to like, oh, Africa's cool.
Oh my God,
or,
you know what? That's
you know
deep,
what I'm saying? But now,
I thought about that.
I mean, but I think it has a lot to do also with something Malika said last night. At the end, she was like, "It's so cool that Afro beats is popping now. It's pop music, and so they can have these artists and highlight these artists in here when there was never really that for us. You know, it was never a, oh, this is cool, this culture is cool, and this is part of your heritage as well. It was just like, oh, that's Africa, that's America.
Well, so what's crazy is that this shit has always been cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The shit has always been cool. Whereas Miriam Makeba, Hugh Masekela, Fela Kuti, but the popular mindset was that shit ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's just funny, like, how did we get to the point where we thought being called African booty scratcher was funny? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that like it was always cool.
Right.
But,
well, I think it's because nobody ever, and I say nobody, I'm speaking in very general terms here. But from my own personal experience, like, even though I grew up in a home where these things were like, yo, I felt like there was never a point where I was like ashamed of being African American or like the African part of that or doing anything that had any ties to Africa, celebrating Kwanzaa or anything like that. That was, you know, any bit like promoting of African culture. I was never felt a way about it, but at the same time, I still didn't have much of a connection personally to it. Right. And I think without that, you allow things like African booty scratcher to be a thing. Just the fact that we all know African booty scratcher is a thing. That's that in itself.
Yo, facts. Yo, Bel-Ami, when did you find out you were black?
That's a good question, bro.
No, on the real.
Yeah.
On the real.
For me, it was 5th grade.
What happened?
Oh, to me?
You said 5th grade.
I mean,
how'd you know? Like it was 5th grade.
Because you remember, I think I told this in the very first episode. I had 2 people who called themselves my best friends. Let me know that I was a sellout. So technically, they told me I wasn't black, and they were black. They were black, and they went through all the reasons why I wasn't black and how I needed to be black.
Shit.
And like you know, because you know, I was in a AT class and I was making good grades, and so I couldn't be black if I was making good grades and have friends that weren't black.
So you know what's funny? Mine is very similar. My brother, I was drawing a picture of myself because we were driving past the mall and I was trying to show my mom the clothes that I wanted. So growing up in LA, it was like these short Ocean Pacific corduroy shorts, Swatch watch, you know, town and country t-shirt, like the surfer shit. And I drew my hair. It was long, you know what I'm saying? Like blonde hair. And then my brother was like, you know, you black, right? But I was going to a predominantly white school as a kid. So I didn't really, I just thought that was cool, you know, because that's the dominant culture, you know what I mean?
Right. No, for me, check it out. So when I first moved to Houston, like in 2004, is when it really was evident that, okay, you're black. And this is the corniest but most relevant story. So people knew I played drums, right? And when I first moved to Houston, the first guy, Brandon Thomas, a good friend of mine, who asked me to play in his band. You know, that's when I forgot the name of the little spot downtown. I forgot the name of it on Main Street, but anyway, he asked me to play in his
Red
band.
Cat?
No, it was around the corner from Red Cat. They used to sell clothes in there, but they used to also.
Yes, I know.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It was like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
like a thrift store kind of deal.
It was a thrift store. I forgot the name of that place right there. But he was like, dude, I heard about you and I would love to have you play in my band. I was like, yes, what's up? He said, he was so excited. He was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a black guy playing in my band. And you know what I'm saying? And I was like, huh? He said, dude, I've never had a black drummer in my band. And I was like, wait. You know what I'm saying?
But emphasis on black, not drummer.
Yeah.
No, I got the blackest drummer.
And I was like, wait. So, because like I said, I grew up in Port Arthur, so it was not a big deal. But when you get to Houston, it's like, I have a black drummer in my white band. It was like, oh, so black people are either, if you're a black guy, you play drums or you play bass, then that's like the dopest thing around that time. You got to be black because you play drums or bass, and then you're in my band. So that's when I was like, wow, so being black is a thing, you know what I mean? And that really kind of makes sense with the movie. So I was thinking, as you said that, like back in the day, coming to America was like, it was Africa all in our face, but it didn't click. It was just funny. We were so like used to laughing at each other. That's all we thought about was laughing, cracking jokes. But at the same time, they was like, hello, Negroes, you guys are from Africa. But we missed the whole thing. But now in 2021, where it's dope to be black, and we understand our history, understand our culture. And now it's like movie, black. We're all like dashiki down and, Aztec warrior and all this stuff. And now it's okay. It's accepted. You know what I mean? So it was that weird disconnect was like, we just used to laugh at the fact that being black. And now it's like, hey, it's actually pretty cool to be black and learn a lot of shit that you didn't know 10 years ago. You know what I mean? That's what it was. Yeah.
My question that I have right now is, should I glaze over the fact that you said Aztec warrior? Nah. Definitely said Aztec warrior.
Aztec, as in, you know what I mean? I'm not doing it. No. I'm not doing it. No.
But listen, it's so interesting, man. I don't know if I ever had a moment that was just like me, where I recognized, oh, okay, I'm black, and maybe what that means. But I guess I don't know. I had to, every school I went to, I had to test into. And so I don't know if I recognized, like, I don't know if I recognized because of that, just that particular fact, or if it was once I got there, it's only me and like a couple other people in here who look like me. And this is always the case. And so I always click up with these people. I'm still friends with, so one of my best friends from growing up, my boy Devin, we ended up being college roommates as well. But we were me, Devin, Garrick, and my other boy Bailey. We were the only 4 blacks in our classes in middle school. Like,
wait, there's a black guy named Bailey?
Yeah, Bailey. His name's Bailey. We called him Trey. He was the third. Bailey Davis the third.
Wow.
And we called him Trey. We just went by Trey. But anyway, we were the
was more black. Trey's more black.
Trey,
yeah. That's why.
Your name ain't Bailey. Your name is Trey.
You're right. But it's wild, man. But we were and we all ended up going to Morehouse. But we were the only blacks in our class, in our math class, in our science classes, that they had us, because those are the classes they had us separated for. It was really STEM heavy. But I guess once I realized, okay, this is a recurring thing, even when I got to high school, like, okay, high school was 10% black, and then in my classes, there's only a couple of us. Okay, cool. So I don't know where I learned it along the way, but I guess it's just always been present for me,
Wow.
But I've definitely seen it clearly in other instances with my friends as well. Like, things get escalated. My boy Garrick he's a large guy, and I mean he's a gentle guy, but apparently he's intimidating. So everything that he did, if somebody else did the same thing, you know, they might get a slap on the wrist, but he gets suspended for it.
Yeah.
You know, because he's now threatening. You know,
Exactly.
So it's just one of those things, man. And I guess I think my parents did a really good job of shielding me from that. Like they took the hits, you know. Like my mom, my dad, they were on it. They were like, nah. This is why they're doing this to you. I didn't get it, but you know what I'm saying? They had the foresight, or they really understood what was taking place, and so they kind of protected me from that stuff.
Right. Man, you know it's crazy. Like I wear like kurtas and dashikis and all that stuff every now and then. And then prior to 7 years ago, I used to like be embarrassed to wear it, or not embarrassed. Always people would ask questions all the time. Like I would wear the dashikis and the kurtas, and they'd be like, "Wait, are you Muslim?" You know what I mean? Like, or where you from? It's like just because I wear it doesn't mean I'm Muslim. You can't categorize me by that. It was like, well, you have a big beard and you wear a kurta and you're a big guy. You know what I mean? So like they were automatically feel threatened and ask these questions. Like, no, I just actually like the way I feel in it. I like the way I look. I feel, I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little royalty when I put on my, you know what I'm saying, my royal gear is what I like to call it. You know what I mean? But even most black people that, and they say, ask me where they like what I have on, but then they all ask me, are you Muslim? I was like, wait, does wearing a kurta and like dashiki can make me Muslim?
I gotta ask, what is a kurta? You lost me at kurta.
Oh, so it's basically it's more popular in the Indian culture. You know, the long dresses with the dress. Well, it's technically called the pajamas, but it's long pajama dresses. But it's really the material is made out of some fancy like silk spun special stuff. I don't know the dimensions of it, but to wear that, you pretty much represent yourself as royalty in their culture. You know what I mean? And so I like to wear it because it makes me feel like royalty. You know what I mean?
Like royalty because your nuts can hang. Like you want?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much if you really think about it. So back in,
you got me pajamas, man. I'm
not gonna lie, bro. When
you got kurta pants to go with it. How does that work?
Sometimes I wear the kurta pants because it literally allows your balls to be free. But here's the thing. I'm glad you said that. True story. One of the reasons, so obviously, like in the Jesus days, I like to call it, the reason why they wore those is because obviously once your balls and your testicles hang, it allows more blood to flow, right? Which it increases your testosterone.
You
know what I mean? So I wear my kurta, and I would typically either wear pants or some really, really loose like jogging pants to allow my testicles to hang and let my blood flow, you know, and increase your testosterone. So if you're always wearing pants and tight drawers and skinny jeans.
So you saying we shouldn't wear no boxer briefs? I
mean, boxer briefs are okay, but tighty whities, no. All they're doing is choking your nuts, man. You know, you gotta let that.
Tighty whities, man. Ain't no tighty whities.
You lie.
But speaking of royal garb, though, speaking of royal garb, I really think the costuming in this movie was dope, and they had my man looking fly. He really looked like a New York. Like it was like if you tried to use traditional African garb and just still at the same time just be a New York nigga, like that's who he looked like.
Yeah.
True. I love it. Actually, I'm gonna go find that same outfit and wear it in my size.
Oh, girl. The sister, by the way. My wife had pointed this out that when they were doing the cut the whiskers off the lion. Like she had on like a Puma outfit. It was a Puma African outfit.
She sure did.
It was pretty dope.
Really?
Man, Pepsi.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool how they touched on a lot of the gender issues, right? Which I'm finding are more prominent in these movies now. And it was very reminiscent of what's my girl from Black Panther.
Can't remember her name.
Suri. No, her.
Maybe
the sister.
Not the sister. No, not the sister.
Oh, you're talking about Lupita.
No, not Lupita.
Then who?
The other one who was with my man who was turned out to be Uncle Tom. We switched.
Yeah, that's Lupita. Oh no,
that wasn't Lupita.
Oh yeah, that was the guard, the woman.
Yeah, Deny. Thank you, Yasmin.
Okoye.
Is that her name? Deny?
Wait, is this the one from the
from Black Panther?
She was in the Monster TV show.
I don't know. Anyway, with the Warrior. No, I'm just saying. What I'm trying to say is,
Walking Dead. They're nice.
Okay, Yasmin, you giving me too many names now.
She's Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I thought it was really cool how they just played on a lot of these, the whole idea that a woman can't lead the kingdom,
right?
And I'm glad that they brought it back to that, because I was just like, yeah, as much as I like the story and the growth of this dude, he don't deserve the kingdom. And so when they gave it to her, I was really pleased on that.
So speaking of misogyny, my wife, she watched last week's episode and she was like, y'all are a bunch of misogynists when we did pick a side, and it was like, who would you rather have watch your child, a woman or a man? And we all chose a woman. And I was like,
how are we misogynists for that?
Yasmin, do you have anything to say about this? You can just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, because we're gonna pull you in here. Do you have anything to say? No,
Yasmin is a mother of two, man.
So anyway, yeah. So like, my wife was like, yeah, we were misogynists.
Who would you be comfortable as your kindergarten teacher?
Say what?
Who would you be comfortable with as your child's kindergarten teacher?
I mean, kindergarten teacher. I mean, look, if I'm being honest, I have.
What else did I say?
What else did I say? Hold on. We got to post.
What else did I
say? Erica is live at 5 right now.
Erica said something. You know what's crazy though? I don't think she's watching. She can only hear me. So, I thought gender lines when you all chose Malcolm.
What's that
mean? We did Malcolm or Marie, and we all chose Malcolm.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You know what? Since
wasn't Marie crazy?
No. I mean, I watched
both of them niggas was crazy.
Yeah,
man.
I watched the rest of it. It was they were just dysfunctional.
At the time, I hadn't seen the movie. I hadn't seen the movie at all. Both of them were wild.
But you know what? But you know what? Let's just get into some women topics. How about that?
Let's do that. Let's go. Perfect.
All right, so we got right in the Crimson Wave. We want to when we go there.
Somebody said number 5. I think somebody posted number 5 earlier.
Dating defined. All right, so number 5.
I think Cherie said number 5.
All right, so number 5 is all about how do you define dating, and this is actually a really good topic because my wife, she told me, like, if you want to date me, this is what needs to happen. Like, she actually had like rules. So it was like, I have to pick the place. I have to provide the transportation. I have to fund it or pay for it. And that's it. Yeah. Pick the pace, provide the transportation, or pick the event. Like, I actually have to plan it, provide the transportation and fund it. Now, if you're in New York, that's going to be kind of hard because providing transportation
to and from.
Yeah. Why would you
just gonna leave her there, bro?
I got you. I don't know how you getting back.
I mean, like in New York, I guess that would be different because, like, providing transportation, you'd be like, we just gonna take the train. I got your Metro card though. I got your fare. Or
because I don't know. Depending on where you are, because you can't Uber to pick up and Uber there.
I was gonna say no. My thing is I was about to say. I was like, my thing is like, yo, we might be doing right. I was like, we might be just having to do public transportation because I ain't about to Uber you and then have to. I guess I would Uber you, get off with you, and then take the train home.
That's too much. I'm sorry.
I'm glad I haven't.
That's when dating becomes like just what's in your region. You know what I mean? Because catching the train home. And you both live in the same area, but you're still catching the train home with her, and the shit goes local, and you know what I mean.
And you live in the North Bronx.
That's a long train ride home.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You live in the North Bronx, and she live all the way in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that don't work. That's what people say. Roommates.
That's a New York specific combo. That's why. Listen, a Brooklyn Bronx relationship is a long distance relationship.
That's love.
That is long distance. Because that's crazy. It's gonna take me an hour to get to you. Nah.
So she gave you the rules for dating, basically.
Yeah, and so I took her out on one date.
Damn, bro.
I mean, like, we were going out all these other times, and then she was like, well, because I thought we were dating, and she's like, nah, we ain't dating. This is what a date is. And so so like we ended up going to San Antonio, and we went and I planned like a jet skiing trip, and so we did that and hookah. I did hookah before I realized that like doing hookah is like smoking 30 cigarettes.
Yes.
I was like double fisting hookah, so I had 60 cigarettes that night. It was crazy.
Did you say double fisting? Anyway, so
yeah, and
we haven't gotten to that one yet. We haven't gotten to that topic yet, Ricky.
And yes, guys, I do have my son here. He woke up. He can't hear anything. He's just staring at some bright lights.
What up, Zion?
So like that was just multiple dates and
it was just a date.
It was just a date.
Yeah, because I mean I had to take her out on a date before I could like I guess we can really be seriously considered as a couple.
So you were able to still date other people around that time. See what I mean?
We had an interesting courting session, and I am not about to go into that. What up, bro? We had an interesting courting session.
Right.
I mean, Amir was there Bel-Ami was there for all. It
was entertaining.
It was a TV show for real.
I was the best third wheel ever, and it was just entertaining, man. Oh, like really? This was happening right now. I'm talking at shows. I'm like, really? This was happening? Okay.
At shows.
Man, listen, that's a topic for another show.
Yes, let's save that one.
Yeah, all of our the most interesting drama will always go down on her behalf at shows. We'll just leave it at that. No, you know what? I ain't gonna say that because she's gonna be like, remember that one time? So it was on both of us.
Yeah, it was both of y'all.
Yeah, it was both of us. But you know what? That's all in the past. We're married now. We're happy. All right, moving forward. How do y'all define dating? Let's just talk about that. Like, what is a date? What does that mean for you? Or what does that mean for your significant other?
Can I jump into mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what's funny? I did the opposite with my wife, right? Like, I'm gonna do the antithesis of a date. So I took her out during the day, right? Like we wouldn't go out at night. We go to like brunch or something like that. But I would try and take her to the hoodest spots, right?
Of course you would.
So
you're from Compton.
South Central, but it's all good.
Oh, same difference.
It's all good. Mm-hmm. So there was a time I remember when I was really feeling her, and I'm like, maybe I'm not really feeling her. I'm just testing myself. So I took her to the spot. Okay, so the name is called like Great American Chinese Restaurant, but everybody in the hood knows it as Japs. So it's a small store.
that ain't racist at all.
That's not racist at all.
Not at all.
I'm saying,
first of all, it's a Chinese hood spot. You call it Japs. I mean, that's like all Asians look alike. Is that what you're saying?
It's called Japs.
It was like World War II. You know
wow.
And so cats were like,
was it Pearl Harbor?
I'm trying to tell you, how long it's been here. Yo, it's called Jobs, man. Yasmin, though. You know what I'm saying? It's called Jobs. And they have, anyway.
That's awful.
So my wife is part Chinese, right? And
you take her to a Japanese
I took it. It ain't Japanese. It's Chinese. They just call them Japs, right?
Because that ain't racist. You gonna take your half Chinese wife to a restaurant called Japs to serve Chinese food.
Oh, they don't serve Chinese food. First of all, that's where you're wrong.
Oh,
they serve soul food. You get your grits, you get your chicken sandwich,
which is even more confusing.
So
yeah, bro, that's
the restaurant is actually called Jap Nigs.
one black dude that's worked there.
Japanese.
I swear to God, they had one black dude that's worked there. They got a picture of him on the wall. Yo, Yasmin, no. Anyway, man, so you order like a chicken sandwich, and it'll be a piece of fried chicken, and then just toast.
Two pieces of bread.
Yo, dead ass,
with
right?
bones and all, right? Bones and all.
Bones and everything, yo. So I'm sitting there with my who is now my wife, and I'm like, yo, she's done. She's not fucking with me no more. Like, it's over, right? And she's looking at the back. I'm like, so what do you think? And she's like, the man cooking the food in the back reminds me of my grandfather. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't even think of that, right? And I met her grandfather. Grandfather is a Chinese guy who migrated to Jamaica.
So he really is Japanese.
Oh, shit.
Pretty much.
Does that just happen? Now, as a Chinese dude, you look at him, you think of a Chinese dude, but he's speaking patois. You know what I'm saying? He knows all about Jamaican culture. He identifies as a Jamaican, and then he also connects with Chinese culture. You know what I'm saying? So it was just mind-blowing. You know what I mean? And that's when I was like, all right, she's the one. You know what I mean? And she's the one. Now I cook, fine dining for her. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be caught dead in eggs.
You know what? This is really good. I want to keep that energy going and like have a she's the one conversation. So let's toss it to Ricky. When did you know that she was the one?
Oh shit. Man.
Wow, you flipped it.
Yeah, you completely did.
Japanese story.
Listen, Derek just tossed us the lifeline. No, I suggest everybody use it. Suggest everybody use it.
Honestly, man, the funny thing about me and Nikki meeting is that we both of us we have the same best friend, like her best friend and my best friend.
We had the same parents.
That's some point author shit right there.
We got the same grandparents. I mean,
let's see what her related. That's what
you're my cousin. So
dating was different.
So both of our best friends have been dating for like 8 years, right? And so her best friend actually hooked me up with one of my exes, right? So it's a very weird situation. But I was supposed to meet Nikki like 8 years ago, but I ended up meeting her other friend, right? And so when I met the other friend and we were talking, everything was cool. Obviously, it didn't work out. And for the day me and her broke up, I was supposed to meet Nikki again because somebody was like, yo, you need to meet Nikki, y'all, because y'all act just alike. Y'all think alike. Y'all kind of have similar personalities. Both of y'all from the triangle. And I'm just like, Nikki, whatever. And if you've seen my wife, Marge is gorgeous. And so around that time, the girl I was dating and broke up with, she had this. And that's when I went through my whole personal, like, I don't care how pretty you look mindset was, because like my ex was gorgeous, but she screwed me over, so I didn't give a shit how pretty girls were. You know what I'm saying? Man, I don't care. Like, you gorgeous, you fine, you got a nice booty, all of the good stuff, but I don't give a damn. It don't matter, because this other girl who was fine, pretty, had a big booty, she messed me over, took my nuts and all the other shit, so I didn't care. So
okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's for another conversation, but okay.
Whole other conversation. Fast forward 8 years later, after I broke up with somebody else, my best friend.
So hold on.
Uh-huh.
How many broken up with somebody else have you went through already?
That was about 4.
Okay.
Yeah, about 4 or 5. That's another topic. But anyway,
it's okay. We've all been there. Trust me.
So I went through my phase again of like, you know what? I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm good. I don't care. I just need to be me for a while. And then somebody was like, you know what? Just talk to Nikki. Y'all just be friends. Y'all just be cool, right? We had one conversation and we talked about kids, and we literally we went from talking on the phone that night to FaceTiming. Then we met up at Starbucks and we just talked, and I just knew she was the one, bro. We were just transparent from the beginning. It was like, this is shit I've been through. This is stuff I don't want to go through. I like the way you talk. I like the way you communicate. We just talked. That was the main thing. So we didn't even actually start dating yet. We just talked for a long time. It was like, I got to be your friend first. And so we was cool. We talked shit to each other, and she's just me, another version of me, and I like the fact that we just chill. We really are just chill. And so once I was able to be like myself, be calm, be cool, be silly, be goofy, be everything Ricky, and she was the same exact way, and she, you look at her, you be like, yo, she's the trophy wife type girl, but she's the exact opposite of that. She's super, super chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I need in my life. I need somebody who look badass, but just chill as shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got. So that's how I knew she was the one.
So Ricky, are you saying that women who look badass aren't usually chill as shit? That's what I took from that conversation.
I look from
Derek
my.
trying to start shit.
I hear
No,
you.
I'm just.
He's a professional agitator. That's what he does.
Clearly.
Yeah,
No.
But-
I'm just like what I heard. Like, I'm trying to understand. That's all.
But from my personal experience, okay,
Got you.
And my personal experience and the women I've dated and the people I've been around, 9 times out of 10, the woman who was like badass and everybody want her, she's an asshole. She has no personality. You know what I mean? She's not relatable. You know, it's only because what I realized, especially being in LA, is that guys put them on such a high pedestal that they don't know how to come down and be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? When somebody's always paying for your stuff, somebody's always blowing your head up and saying they'll do any and everything for you, you can feed that into a person's mind so much, you know what I mean? Then they just believe that and they live their lifestyle. So when it's time to come down and be in a relationship, you're not relatable because everybody puts your head up here, so you can't come down. That's just what I've experienced. Not all of them, but
Gotcha.
you know, 9 times out of 10.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Said being in a relationship is coming down. That's all I heard. She on some pedestal. Fuck that shit. One leg pedestal.
I mean, yeah, you better go some stilts or something. No. I don't believe that, man. Yeah.
Bel-Ami, what is your I knew she was the one story?
I wrote this song called Queen. And real talk, I think it's a game. Wrote this song called Queen, and I was very much inspired by our relationship, just how everything happened, because I've known Malika since 2007, but we were never a thing. It was just we worked together. She worked at a different store than I worked at, but we worked for like the same company. Worked for Lucky Brand.
Lucky Brand, yeah.
And I did my training at her store, so we were cool. She went to Clark, I went to Morehouse. We were just cool. It was nothing at all. And but then it was kind of like, oh, she's, you know what I'm saying? She got to fly. And a few years later, I tried to, holler on Facebook, and she gave me the stiff arm, the little Heisman. You know what I'm saying? She gave me the stiff arm.
Yeah. We both have women that done that, yeah.
And but at the same time, it was just like, oh, okay, it would be cool. You know what I'm saying? And so randomly we just reconnected. She came to one of my shows. First of all, through Facebook, I saw that she was best friends with my cousin, my first cousin, and they like grew up together. And I just thought that was like, this is odd. But I saw it as like, oh, next time I'm in DC, I can just hit my cousin up and be like, yo, holla at Malika for me. And tried that. Still got the stiff arm again. And yeah, man. And so, but at the time when we reconnected, this was 2014, it was just like the perfect storm of stuff and my past relationships and current relationships at the time. Like, it was just the right time. And we just, the way we connected and the way we just kind of became like this, it was just, I wrote this song. That's what I wrote Queen about. Nice. And then come to find out, Malika means queen.
Wow.
Didn't even know that at the time. But it's an Arabic name. It means queen. Amir means prince. So it was just all these different things. Nice. Our families were already, it was just so much, man. It was just like, yeah, let's just see what this is about. And
so this is what I heard. She kept stiff arming you, and then hold on, and then COVID hit. So that was the storm. So I was like, yo, you ain't got it. Yo, let's chill. Google, they did a song, and then be Wikipedia Queen, like, yo. Wikipedia his name.
Right.
Oh, shit.
And then he grew on her. That was so corny. God dang. Please edit that.
Derek, I know Derek's story. I know Derek's story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I got a couple of different ones. So when
too, right?
Yeah, I mean, like when I knew it was a little different than when I knew, and then when I thought I knew. So I mean, my first one, I think for me, like the very first time is actually happened in my phone. It was like June the 16th or something, at like 1:30 in the morning. And what it was is we were Erica happened to come over, and we were just like listening to like all these like oldies but goodies stuff, and we landed on like Mint Condition. And Mint Condition for me is like that is like my favorite group of all time.
What song
outside
was
of
it?
Jodeci. Outside of Jodeci.
What song was it?
Don't say no pretty brown eyes shit.
What'd you say? It's not Pretty Brown Eyes.
Pretty brown eyes shit.
No. And now you put me on the spot, and now I don't even remember the song. I like dun 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 dun. Boom. That's like I can't.
You send me swing.
No. It's not You Send Me Swinging. And she's gonna kill me if she's listening. But yeah, no. But like, so like then that night we end up dancing to that song, and like at that moment I was like, oh, I know that she's the one for me. Like this is the person I'm going to marry. Now there was a time before that I also knew, and really, see, I told you. She's like, we danced with at our wedding. I just finished a bottle of scotch.
Is it what kind of man would I be?
Look, it's empty. It's empty now. It's empty. It's no more.
Someone to love. Oh, someone.
That's it. Someone to love. Yes.
Someone to love.
All right.
Yep. He's in trouble.
I'm in trouble. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Look, it happened.
So here's the thing. That's not a Mint Condition song, brother. That's John B.
No. Mint Condition did it too.
No, it's Someone to Love. Yeah.
Someone to love.
Gotta find out. I don't want YouTube to get. I don't want to sing it correctly because then YouTube will flag our stuff. I'll give you all the love you need.
You're right.
Oh,
I'm thinking of the other one. I'm thinking of the other
take
song.
my hand and I'll lead
You're right.
the way.
I'll take it back. My bad. I was thinking of the other one. Someone to love.
Yeah.
Someone to touch.
You know what's funny? Amir, can you
Babyface.
Hey y'all, this is really funny.
Yeah, Babyface. I don't know why I said John B.
I've never seen a
Yeah.
Look, Amir, real quick, because this is really funny. Can you sing for everyone the practice song that you sung for our rehearsal wedding when Erica was walking down the aisle? Do you remember what you did?
Mm-mm. What did I sing? I was probably being ignorant, bro.
You were being very
that whole
ignorant.
weekend.
I think you were,
I'm just a bachelor.
No, he was singing feeling on your
Feeling on your booty.
R. Kelly.
But the way he started it, like, it's like her parents were there and everything. Like we were like in a real, like we were going through the rehearsal of the wedding, and like you know how the song sort of starts, and you don't really understand like what like it's like.
The feel as the teacher's making me feel. You did not do that at the rehearsal.
I did. I did.
And your hair weaves looking kind of pretty.
This is Erica. She says,
My family was not happy. Her dad was so upset, but it was like it was fun. It was
roll us run a bar, roll us run a roll.
All right, okay, guys, let's wrap this up. Let's move on to.
Also, I just want to acknowledge too. I've been missing a whole bunch of chats tonight. I see y'all. We just been in this conversation, and it's taken so many turns. But I do want to acknowledge. We got your big bro Gary in here.
What up?
Tiff Rich. What up?
What's happening?
Y'all was making some funnies happen, man. And so I didn't put all of this stuff in here. But apparently Gary agrees with something that you said, Ricky.
Oh, that was
I don't know what it was.
When he was talking about when he found his when he knew.
Yeah, I was talking about the bougie chicks. I think they all it.
Yeah.
Got you. Kadre's here correcting me as well on this mint condition. And then, so I definitely want to acknowledge everybody in the chat. Kadre, we see you back here, bro. We seeing you back here the whole time.
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
We're gonna get to you. But we do want to move the show along.
Yes. To some pick a sides.
This is the portion of the show that everybody loves. Pick a side. And quite honestly, it's the portion of the show that I love as well.
Wait a minute. Are we bringing in Yasmin for this?
Yasmin?
Can we tease? Can we get into it?
Gosh.
Niggas, can't tell niggas nothing.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, I got too excited, man.
Just a little.
The one time my spiel was going right.
It was going great.
You got cut off.
Black people and niggas.
I know what flag I wave.
Anyway, so pick a side. Listen, pick a side is a practice in being free in our thoughts and owning how we feel about certain things. And look, we pick a side. As a man, we have to pick a side every day. And you just got to roll with it.
And as a woman, too.
As a woman, too. But I mean, in a less physical way. Or depending on how you identify. There are women who might have to pick a side too, and I'm just from a physical standpoint. But it's a practice in letting go and being content with what you decide and where you land. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring forth some topics. Everybody's going to have two, and the way it works: somebody presents a topic, we pick a side, no explanation, we keep it moving. Here's the thing. We won't clarify our stances on these sides that we pick, but if you in the chat would like to hear more about one of the choices, feel free to ask us about it, and we are obligated to acknowledge your questions. And if you would like us to go deeper into why we chose a side, you can request that as well. But this time, hopefully, we'll actually get through it with everybody following the rules. Because by the second round, usually everybody's like, because this is so let's just try to stick to it this time. All right.
And without any further ado, we would like to bring on, because it is Women's History Month, our first woman ever.
Her story.
Oh yeah, it's Women's Her Story Month. We'd like to bring on our first woman ever to the Free Agents podcast. Without any further ado, we welcome Yasmin Hurston.
Yeah.
Her story, Hurston.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What an honor. Thank you. I'm cracking up from being backstage. So
listen, I'm just happy that you're still here and you haven't abandoned us yet.
I know, right?
I know you've been back there for quite some time.
No, because some shit is ignorant as hell.
And it's only gonna go downhill from there. I just want to let you know. It's like it's not moving forward. It's not moving up anymore.
how long is the show? That's the question.
How much niggas talking?
Technically, we're
supposed to be done within 2 hours.
Okay.
We're gonna move through this, but we don't want to cut you short at all. But we just want to make sure we got you in plenty of time. And if you we've been planning to bring you on for 15 minutes, so you see how this thing goes. But yeah, if we go over, it is what it is. But it's all love. We're just having a conversation, man.
At some point, I want to read off her, bio a bit. Maybe
after we do pick a side. After we do pick a side.
Right.
During your segment, you can read off her bio.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Cool.
No problem.
All right, pick a side.
All right. Let me get this order correct. It's going to be me, and then it's going to be Lieber, right? And then it's DJ Elbow Greasy, and then Bel-Ami, and then Yasmin. You'll
Is Ricky gonna participate?
Yeah.
Apparently, y'all are the same. Apparently, all black people look alike. So
no. When I was moving people around, I just went ahead. Like I was only saying the names of the people I was moving. That's all.
Okay.
All right. So it's me, DJ Elbow Greasy, Ricky, Bel-Ami, then Yasmin. All right. So for my first question, first side rather. It's not really a question. Because we just came off of Black History Month and we're moving. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Ty? Glad you can join us. Because we're coming off of Black History Month and this is Women's Her Story Month. My question to you is Harriet Tubman or Rosa Parks?
Man. I gotta go Harriet.
Yeah, I gotta go Harriet too.
Harriet.
Oh,
Yasmin.
Rosa. Rosa.
All right. I'm gonna go with Harriet. All right.
That's
Nice.
Elbow greasing.
Yo. All right, let's think outside the box on this one.
Erica says Harriet on this one.
Yes, she does. Are you Fat Girls? Is that Ty? Fat Girls?
Yeah, it's Ty. Yeah.
What's
Ooh,
up?
Ty, you got the show? If you need a producer, holla at me.
Okay. Are you a okay?
Come on,
okay.
camera.
Are you a gap maker or gap appreciator? What's wrong with y'all?
Gap maker, gap appreciator.
Don't you want to say a gap maker or a gap closer?
Yo, I gotta get my camera together, y'all.
A gap maker
That's
or
right.
a gap appreciator?
That's right. Do you make the gaps or do you live off of the appreciation of the gap?
That can go so many
I'm
ways.
gonna go with gap maker.
I'm just gonna go with Gap Maker. That feels comfortable right now.
I'm gonna go with gap appreciator. That feels more comfortable for me.
Well, I don't know what that is. But
None of us do. Yes.
None of us
I'm
do.
gonna, right. So I'm just gonna say appreciate it because I don't want to be guilty of making it.
Ricky, you up, brother?
All right.
Can I say what I think?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
Say what
go
you
ahead.
think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm also a gap appreciator.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I guess after the show.
Yes. No, not excuse these ninjas. This excuse that one.
Or you can ask me what I meant by that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you gotta call me a ninja in front of my children.
Yeah. We can talk about that one after camera. I'm lost on that one too. But
Me too, bro.
I'm going way off the rip too. So
There it goes.
Okay, what you hear? Thank you.
Oh my
we go.
God.
There you go.
Saved the day.
Really? All right. So
All
when I
right.
was a kid, my mom used to have a subscription to Essence magazine. And I'll never forget reading one of these editorials, and it was about
How old were you?
oh man, I mean, we
13? If you're 13,
Yeah.
this is gonna go in another
11,
direction.
12, 13. And so what it was there's an editorial, and it was about women who had gaps in their teeth, right? And there were people who really were attracted to women who had gaps in their teeth, right? So much so that there were women who would actually take forks or knives and try to create a gap in their mouths in order for men to be attracted to them. So if you flip it, it's also this whole idea of, did you make a gap? Did you indent? Did you part the waves for somebody? Or did you
This dude is high.
walk in? Finish? Or did you appreciate and just benefit off of the gap that someone made for you?
I got
what I'm
you.
saying?
You know what?
So which one are you?
You know what?
I think Gary's response kind of sums it up for us all.
Yep, that was very nice.
And this one too.
I say,
But-
what are you talking about?
No, this was his, I clicked on the wrong one. This was his response.
I don't know.
Which is my response.
You know, at first I was gonna say, you know what, man, my high school sweetheart had a gap like in her teeth,
Okay.
and I thought that's where you were going with it, and I was like, oh, okay, I see that. But then you flipped it on some other like I don't even know what to say. Mythological methodology. Yeah. Anyway.
I had a gap for the longest until I got Invisalign because I got self-conscious. My
Yeah,
teeth
yeah.
actually started spreading because I lost a couple teeth in a car accident.
Yo,
So it made my gaps larger. And so I just was self-conscious. So I wanted to close the gap. But I mean, up until then, I appreciated the gap. And I don't have a problem with gaps. A lot of people in my family have gaps.
Yo,
Like,
put Erica's comment up there. You see it?
See, I tell y'all, man. Listen.
Yes.
Yeah, he was on it.
High quality, man.
Look at what Cherie says. Cherie says that's dope and weird.
Hey, I apologize. I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable by the gap.
No, you're fine. You know, there's all kind of gaps. There's wage gaps. There's education gaps.
You
know?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, speaking of wage gaps, I know we're supposed to get into this in politics as usual, but like, you know, there were some Democrats who decided that they wanted to keep minimum wage under $15, but that's a whole other story.
Well, let's just to get through pick a side first.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Ricky. You're up.
I'm still on the gap thing, but I was thinking, never mind. Okay, sorry. But I forgot. I said wipes or toilet paper.
I'm gonna go with toilet paper.
Wipes, bruh.
Wipes.
Yasmin.
Wipes.
Yes, definitely wipes.
Oh, Chase booty ass Derek over here.
You know what? I don't need to explain myself. Keep it moving. Let's go, Bel-Ami.
I know. All right. Speaking of gaps.
And not Chase booty ass. Oh shit.
All right. Speaking of gaps, thigh gap.
That's what I was thinking earlier.
Or no gap.
Wait, what was the first one?
Thigh gap or no gap?
Thigh gap?
Yeah.
The hell is a thigh gap?
Thigh. THI.
He don't know because
thigh gap or no gap?
Yeah.
No gap.
Oh, she just gonna jump in.
No.
Okay, that's okay. It's okay, Yasmin. It's okay. It's okay.
Here's my thought.
No, it's always.
I don't know what a thigh gap is.
Yo,
okay. Listen, you don't get to. We didn't know what the hell a gap appreciator was. Answer your damn question. I need you to figure it out. Use your damn context clue.
All right, I'm gonna go with.
Wow! You were committed, and you.
Is it that hard? Pick a side, bro.
I had to think about this answer before I said it.
Be free. Think freely. Think and speak freely.
Let it
I'm gonna go with whatever my wife got.
What?
Nah, I sense a brother who's not speaking freely. That is in violation of the rules.
That is, man. That is.
I'm trying to think.
Don't think.
No, thigh gap or no gap. I'm gonna go with thigh gap. Let's go with thigh gap. Let's go with it.
Thigh gap. Definitely thigh gap.
No gap.
That's a whole nother conversation because I got something to say about that. But anyway.
All right, Yasmin, welcome.
All right. Cocoa butter or Vaseline?
For what use? I'm just playing.
Pick a side.
Pick a side.
I'm gonna go with cocoa.
Oh, cocoa. Every day Ice loves cocoa.
I mean, I wish you would have said Shay, but cocoa's fine.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with cocoa.
Cocoa.
Yeah. Definitely.
What'd you got, Yasmin?
Cocoa butter.
All right.
We all on the same page with that one.
Yeah, we are.
All
right, here we go.
All right, here we go. We gotta make this rapid, y'all.
Yeah. Top or bottom?
Shit.
Come on, Lever.
Top.
I'm saying bottom. Come on, bro.
Top.
Top.
Am I the only one on the bottom?
You are.
God. What they got to think about the biggest guy in the room?
Yeah.
All
No
right,
one
it's
knows.
me, right? Is it me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Black or purple?
Purple for me.
Shit, ain't your turn.
Oh,
Bottoms up, my wife says.
Black or purple, my brother?
I'm gonna go with black.
Ricky, you said purple.
I said purple. Yeah.
Oh, black.
Purple.
Purple too.
My turn.
Ricky. Yeah.
Mask on, mask off.
Take this in so many different ways, man.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna go with mask on.
Mask off.
Fuck it, mask off.
Yeah.
Mask on.
Like the way Bel-Ami said that, right?
Ricky.
Right, Ricky?
He said, "Fuck it, mask off." I'm like, that. Mask off.
Mask on.
Mask
Okay.
off.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Brandy or Monica?
Oh, dude, I was gonna say something just like that. This is good. You know me, I'm Brandy all day.
Born and raised on Monica, brother.
I got to go with Monica too.
Brandy.
Monica.
What? 3 Monicas to 2 Brandy?
Yo, can I throw another one? Can I just throw an extra one in there? Because I had said something very similar. I'm just curious. Can I do an extra one?
No, after Yasmin, you cannot.
Yes.
On her story, see, this is what the problem is with men.
You know what?
See, Yasmin, he didn't feel comfortable jumping in front of anybody else.
Right.
Well, why did you feel comfortable jumping in front of
Oh my goodness. Let's go.
Else.
You know what? I can yield to you. You can take my turn.
Wow. No. I don't want to do that. That's not.
That's a real woman, right?
This is male fragility. No.
That's a real woman.
He gonna stew in his own fragility.
Yeah.
Fragility.
You sit there and think about what you just did.
Little male fragility.
He wants something else.
All right. This is something I think this is what we know now. Elderberry or ginger?
I'm gonna go with ginger.
Ginger all day.
This is corny. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I think of.
No. It's okay.
Now, this is perfect. I want to hear what Ricky got to say.
Yeah,
Ricky's the one.
That's a tough one. Based on the amount of minerals in each.
You know.
Oh, my bad.
You go,
Wow.
Elderberry.
Ginger.
Yeah, I was gonna do elderberry too.
Yeah, but we know. I guess we know what the right answer is because Ricky is the genius on this one. So, all right. So, real quick, I just want to say this one because, like, you literally, I was thinking about this morning. I was gonna say Aaliyah or Beyonce. You see how Lever's face turned? That's that thought face.
Damn. I would have to go with oof.
That's tough.
Yeah, I'd have to go with B, man. I go with B.
Beyonce all day.
I'd definitely say Beyonce.
Definitely Beyonce.
Okay. I have to. Okay. Hold on, time out. Because Erica, I totally agree with this choice. But this is what I do not agree with. I do not agree with that statement.
That's
Right. She can't really sing. She's
You don't think
What?
she can sing?
No, come on.
Yo, Aaliyah did the best rendition of the Isley Brothers.
She
At your
did.
best?
Yes, dude.
of the
Nah,
Isley Brothers.
nah, man. I'm
Wait,
not.
don't talk about the Isley Brothers. They've had a hit every decade since the 1950s.
No, I'm not talking about the Isley Brothers.
Okay,
I'm talking about Aaliyah doing a rendition of Isley Brothers
Right.
song.
I mean, Badu and Andre 3000 did a better rendition of Hello. You know what I'm saying?
That was an interesting version.
Yeah.
Squirrel. Right?
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with Aaliyah. I'm going with Aaliyah. I think Aaliyah would be the biggest artist out if she was still alive.
Bigger than Beyonce?
I think we have an unusually we have an unusual tie to nostalgia, and we make it grander than it really is.
I agree.
And she would have been great. Beyonce was undeniable, and if you're one of them Illuminati people and you say she was Beyonce's sacrifice, you can shut the fuck up.
Oh wow! Hey, yo, Bel-Ami, if you're going there, then I'll throw at Jay or Big.
There would be no Jay without Big.
Yeah, and listen.
Biggie for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Biggie for me.
Yeah,
too.
Biggie.
I'm gonna go with Jay. Jay or Billy.
Still, but what I'm not gonna say is that Biggie would not have been, or Jay would not have been without Biggie. Without Biggie dying. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but I only say that because, in Jay's first 3 albums, he would quote Biggie. That's all. Like it was like he used his but as a way to pay homage. But that's all. So it is what it is. We can keep it moving.
All right. So
let's talk about it, man.
Are we on politics as usual?
Politics. Lies people tell themselves.
That's hilarious. So, are you going to post the politics as usual layup line?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Sorry, I apologize.
No. You could.
So I think the first topic we were going to talk about was this whole idea of Texas is open for business.
Yeah.
And then after that, without any further ado, I would like to speak about the queen that we have in the building and give her props and flowers. So before we do that, I think the most craziest thing that happened was the governor of Texas decided to open up for business and say there are no capacity and no masks. I don't think he's representing the state of Texas. I think he's doing the Texans a disservice, and he is also trying to divert attention away from the grid issue that they were dealing with. And then lastly, I think he's trying to possibly steal some thunder from the idea and throw like a dog whistle to Donald Trump and steal some thunder from this whole idea of people are getting vaccinated. This is the time when he needs to say the Black community is open for vaccinations to ensure that we are being vaccinated and being safe. But instead, he's going to create more opportunities for people of color to get COVID and people in general get COVID. And that I think is disgusting. That's just
all right. So for me, I think it was a brilliant idea. And let me tell you why. Because when he said that, more people have been like, yo, what? I'm wearing a mask. And so I felt like what he was doing was he decided, he said it, and then it was like reverse psychology.
You get this nigga too much credit, bro.
No. I'm not giving him credit, but what I am saying is because I've talked to a lot of people from Texas, and like for example, I talked to my daughter and at her school, they're still wearing masks. Now it's almost it's like when you tell somebody they can't do something, then they're going to want to do the opposite. But then you you know what? I don't want y'all to wear masks. Now everybody's like, nah, we're gonna wear masks. Like I talked to my friend, he's the manager at a store in Dallas, and they were like, nah, we're gonna make sure that our customers are still wearing masks. We're still wearing masks. And so like I think what he ended up doing is like, yeah, I'm gonna say like we're open and we're free. But now more people are like, nah, I think I'm gonna stick to wearing this mask thing. As opposed to when you tell somebody that you gotta wear a mask, then it's like they automatically go with this idea of like, nah, I ain't wearing a mask.
But I don't think it's anybody changing because of it. Like, I don't think any opinions were changed. I think the people who are like, we still gonna wear masks, the people who was probably wearing masks before. I don't think anybody knew was gonna be like, oh man, he opened up, now I'm gonna put on a mask. Nah, because by this point, we're a year and a half or a year into it. It feels like longer than that.
Yeah.
But really like a year and some change, a year before the pandemic or COVID being around. So like, it's at this point, if you wasn't gonna wear a mask, you ain't wearing a mask. And I don't think anybody's gonna change. And so I wouldn't even give him credit to say he thought that or he's actually doing it. But I know you didn't. I know you're not saying that. But should we judge him based on what happens as a result of it? We can, but I think intention has a lot to do with it as well, and you can't ignore the intention. I think his intentions are purely political, self-serving,
and also capitalistic. I mean, if you look at Florida, they're wide open for business, and they literally have more people moving there than any. Like Florida is now the new hotspot to be at.
And that's the hotspot of COVID as well.
Yeah.
Which honestly, and I see it won't matter after everybody gets vaccinated. People are still going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's a strategic win for economic purposes.
Yasmin, what you thinking?
Two things. One, opening it up is just creating more opportunities for people to be exposed, right? Even if I'm wearing a mask or not, opening up freely is putting more people at risk, regardless, And the other thing, I just see it as one of the spoiled brats governors that's like, I'm not trying to go with the rest of the administration, and we doing it our way. Like everybody else is doing it this way. So like, Texas, Mississippi, all the, the slave states, they're just like, we not going to go that way. We're doing this our way. So I think it's just a way of them just trying to not work with the rest of the country.
Makes perfect sense. And I'm not a political person as well. I made sure I made that clear when I first got on our podcast. I'm like, I don't study it. I don't pay attention to it. I listen to y'all and get the information. But one thing I do understand is like people's mindsets in whatever position that they hold. You know what I mean? Like she said, something that was obvious is that like you can have a lot of power, but if you have a childlike mindset, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna misuse that power. And that's the only thing I hear and I see when I see politicians saying stuff like that. I mean, it really was a well played, unintentional, uneducated, selfish decision to put out there. You know what I'm saying? To say, yo, everything is open, without even understanding like what the heck is really, really going on. So I always ask people like y'all, what's the whole point of him saying that? Like in a political move, what's the biggest reason for him saying that and doing it? What does he benefit from it, and how could he lose from it? That's the two things that I always kind of think about. Like, what's the benefit, and what's the contradiction to him saying that?
I mean, if I could just add, it just shows that Texas is just not prepared, and goes from when I have two nephews there in Texas, and like they've never experienced that type of weather, and they certainly suffered from a government whose beliefs was, the strongest will survive, the survival of the fittest, like that.
Right.
That type of mentality.
That's the Texas mindset.
Right. And that type of mentality is it's horrible, and it really doesn't thrive in places where people rely solely on government to succeed. If you're not relying on government, then you could really see yourself in a bad situation. So, my prayers go out to you and the people in Texas that you got to deal with that.
all day.
Not like that governor's doing that much better these days, but still, like Texas is really rough right now.
Yeah, but when I noticed the other day I was at the gym is that like there are people who they take it really really serious. We still have to wear masks at the gym, right? So I literally saw this old man. I'm gonna be honest, a whole old white guy walk over to this young black dude who walked in and was like, "I ain't got to wear a mask because GA, I'll call him GA, said I ain't got to wear a mask, right?" And white dude walked over to him and was like, "Hey, you got to put your mask on until the 10th, until they decide, right?" And black dude was looking like, I mean, they literally got into a small quarrel going back and forth, but it's like that whole Texas gunslinger mindset, you know what I mean? And then like, how do you battle that when I watched some of GA's like interviews and they ask him a direct question, and he diverts the conversation. He says the most stupidest thing, for lack of better terms. They was asking him like, "Why did you say that?" Well, Biden let the freaking Spanish people in here. They all got COVID. Why did you do that? He let them in here. They got COVID. I'm like,
yeah, that was so hilarious.
I didn't see this.
Yeah.
What was this? Just today?
No, it was like a couple of days ago. He was doing an interview, and they were like, "Yeah, can you explain to us?" I think it was like KPRC.
Yeah.
He's like, "Can you explain to us, like, why you decided to open up the border? I mean, not the border. He like open up the state." And he was like, "Well, the thing is, though, what you guys are missing is like, Biden's letting all these Mexicans in, and he's letting the Mexicans in with COVID." And so the person was like, "Look, I know that you have an issue with the immigration and all that." He's like, No. I'm not talking about immigration. I'm just talking about like, these people coming in with COVID. And if you think about this, what he said logically, why would you then say there's a no mask mandate if you got more people coming in with COVID?
Well, because politics, and listen, politics nowadays, Donald Trump did something that will like outlast generations. And that is, he made it normal to say whatever the fuck you want. It's really normal now.
True.
Like it was already. You think about this. Think about when we were growing up. You had to go to the library to get a credible source of information. You had to find it in an encyclopedia. You had to pull up the microfiche, and you had to do all kind of, get a newspaper, find a magazine, like, and then the internet came about. And then remember, can you think back to like the first time you saw something on the internet and you was like, nah, that's not true.
Same information.
You know what I mean? And so like, but now, because that's the only source, and libraries are closed now in a lot of places. Schools don't have libraries anymore.
They have coffee rooms.
They do. They have they have e-libraries now.
Yeah,
and
it's like a computer lab.
So now, what he did is like kill credibility to like with journalism, and so like now, all our information, you got to think too. How has history been passed? Motherfuckers write shit. That's it. I mean, now we have it on camera, so it's a little bit more like you can, but hell, eventually, before nobody else. Remember back in the day, you couldn't make your own video. Now you can make your own video. Before we know,
you can make deep fakes.
We can make deep fakes now. You can make your damn own CGI. I don't know how, like by him putting this cloud upon like the places that we typically go to for like journalistic integrity, like it's really gonna put a stain. And now it's filtering now into one of the major parties. And
well, no, not just one, both. Did y'all hear what Biden said too?
No, what did he
say?
Like
Biden, they asked him about like what was going on in China, and he was like, "Look, because they've they're trying to take over Hong Kong, and then they've been killing the Uyghurs, and so Biden was like, listen, China has to do what China has to do, and the last time that we interfere with, or the last time someone interfered with, Chinese culture, then it makes them weaker. And so they have to be able to do what they got to do for them to be strong and stuff. And I'm like, so you're telling me that it's okay to allow an entire race of people to be wiped off this earth because like they're not necessarily going along with what the Chinese want them to do because they live in China but they're Muslim, but like or like what they're doing to Hong Kong as well. And so it's like everybody like now it's like we're just now in this like point where we're going to justify one thing for one group of people, but it's okay for one group of people, but it's not okay for another group of people. Like that's literally what he said, because like, what was it? I think now we're about to go right back into it with the Middle East, because now all of a sudden the bombings have started again. Like there ain't been no bombings in 4 years. 4 years, no bombings. And now all of a sudden, literally the day of the inauguration, there was a bombing. And there's been like 3 or 4 bombings since then. And so like my thing is, and I know people are thinking like, oh, what, you're a Republican? I'm not neither. I don't believe in neither of those parties. They suck. So and so like for me, it's like, it's time for the people to be able to start thinking for themselves and realize that like, what's really happening in this world, what's, like the people who we want to represent us and want to lead us aren't really about us and not really for us. And I mean, that's a whole other topic that we can get into. And Lever, for some reason, dropped out oh, here he is. He's coming back. So it's like he dropped out. But
I'm here, baby.
But yeah, but I think it's both parties, man. Both parties are now like at this point where they're just saying whatever they want to say because they know they can, because people are just gonna keep voting for both parties. Until there's a really legitimate third party to really be competitive, people are just gonna keep voting for both parties.
That's why I think that's one of the reasons why I don't respect politics. And I was talking to my dad today. We talked church a lot, so he's a pastor. So he was like, he understands my universal, spiritual understanding and worldview of people in general. So I was asking him, I said, what's the difference between politicians and pastors? And he just went through this whole theology and Bible talk and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, they both shave their faces, they both wear suits, and they, you know what I mean? And they have the similar mannerisms, and they both lie in front of people and on a pulpit.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Before we go any further, allow me to reintroduce my guest.
My name is
This is the Yasmin person. Yes. She is a mother, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a professional executive, and a public servant. On MLK Jr. birthday 2021, she launched Butterfly Urban Grants, a micro grant program given out from $300 to $1,000 for NYC residents, groups, and organizations interested in creating projects that bring strength, hope, consolation, healing, and inspiration to others. She is the Vice President of Community Affairs at L&M Development Partners and CNC Apartment Management, where she is responsible for leading the Community Governmental Relations Program, 18,000 units, ensuring quality of life accountability for all residents. She has over 25 years of experience in the private and public sector and has worked for the local initiative support Corporation, New York State Senator Majority Conference, Manhattan Borough President's Office, and was district manager of Community Board 10. In 2016, she was elected New York State Committee member for the 70th Assembly District. Her directorial debut was Come See About Me, a documentary about children's professional views on violence in their community. And after extensive years of being involved in a myriad of media opportunities.
You're doing really well. You're doing well.
You're doing the most right now. He got to.
Yasmin is community and is amazing. Her media experience reflects on her commitment to providing meaningful information to the general public on critical issues as an impact on urban communities for over 10 years. And she has launched the Say Yaz Productions LLC, a multimedia production company with a focus on creating radio shows, blogs, and podcast and film in May 2017. She is the parent company. Say Yes is the parent company for On Point Experience, a weekly online radio show, and the weekly Single Moms Chronicles blog. And she resides in Harlem with her two sons, both of which are offensive linebackers when they were in college. Yes or no?
Just one is in college right now. He's an offensive tackle, and the other one is in college, but right now he's into music and he's working.
And he's making beats. He's a producer, right?
He's a producer.
Right.
Real
So,
quick,
ladies and gentlemen,
by the way, yes, but I also want to say something because I gotta say this. This dude said offensive linebacker.
It's an offensive line.
He's an offensive linebacker. That's what you said.
Right?
Oh, my bad. I don't understand how that works. I just know
you don't watch sports.
Yeah, that's why I said offensive tackle.
Offensive line. My bad. I apologize. I'm just saying she raised football players. I'm just saying, man, she is the heart and soul of the Harlem community, and I'm just making sure she gets her flowers. So this is Yasmin Hurston.
Thank you.
And she is also a proponent of Harlem and particularly New York City having the state of New York getting legalized cannabis, right? And she's now an advocate to ensure that when this happens, there is equity involved and making sure that people who were formerly incarcerated are getting a piece of that pie. So that's one of the few things that, amongst others, that she's currently working on.
Sounds right.
Yeah. So can you talk to us a little bit about like the whole legalization? Like, what is the issue with legalizing weed in New York? And I don't know if you understand what's going on in New Jersey, but like the governor's not signed off on legalizing it. I feel like he's trying to wait till New York also legalizes it before he signs off, but he's using the excuse of they don't know what to do, how to penalize users who are underage.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because I first started my journey on learning about legalizing cannabis, or rather adult use marijuana in Jersey. I went to a town hall meeting in like Jersey City, and at the time, it was a really big issue around whether to legalize it, and it was really hard for like the religious community to support it. So I thought that was very interesting. But then I met a group of people that was just really talking about it's going to happen. People smoke. So like, what do we get from this? And I thought that was very interesting because I started thinking about how I grew up in Harlem, and if it was going to happen, I needed the people that I knew or the people that was impacted. I needed to know how they could benefit from it, if that made sense. So like, New York is on the verge of a change. It's going to happen. And there's like right now 2 bills, right? There's the regular bill that Governor Cuomo has. He has a legalization proposal. But then there's the other one that's in law with an assemblywoman up in Buffalo called Crystal Peoples, and then Liz Kruger, who's in the Senate. And so, my thinking is, and let me just tell you a little bit about my journey. I did a podcast called Blunt Discussion, no pun intended, but I did a podcast called Blunt Discussion. I just started interviewing a lot of different people, and I learned that this is really becoming like a social movement. This wasn't really just about letting people just smoke, blunts. This is really about a $1 trillion industry about to happen. And then where will we be as Black people and brown people in this process? And so we thought it was important that we talked about the social equity program in this plan. And so we started these conversations like in 2018, 19, that if you're going to do this, you're going to have to include like health equity, entrepreneurship, of course, employment opportunities, community reinvestment, workforce development, and you have to deal with the criminal justice reform. And as of now, I want to say that these are the things that we're pushing for in New York. We're pushing for harsher criminal penalties, direct investment, license for on-site consumption. I mean, all these, there's different things, and I'm happy to share those issues with you. But it's just like we really had to, I think we started a conversation along with the ongoing movement that was out there. It has so many different not-for-profits and the legal arm and the health arm, just really trying to show that this was more than just, this was not a gateway drug. This is really a plant that has so many uses, and that we were just so ignorant. And in our community, it took double approaches. First of all, you had to educate people on this plant, and then you had to motivate people to get involved. And so, you know, this is an ongoing battle, but I think the more people that know about it, I mean, the stronger it will be.
So let me ask you this question. What happens? So, you know, once weed becomes legal and everything, what happens to like the black market of weed, right? So all those people who are making a sustainable living, selling, I mean, I know they're illegally selling weed, but for all those people who are doing that, like what happens to them, or what are some ways for them to be able to get into the actual selling on the legal side of it?
Right. So pre-legal, first of all, it's going to be kind of like how it was when you're going to go through that, I guess, prohibition period or whatever. I mean, you're going to go through that process where pre-legal will be a little bit rougher. I think and I'll explain. That's why we started an organization. We called it New York Minority Alliance, and then there's other organizations, Women Grow, and then like we're thinking about now creating a New York State business chamber of commerce, like a cannabis chamber of commerce. And what that does, it allows for people to learn more about getting into the industry. It provides training. It allows you to get capital, working to provide to get capital or to get access to be able to transfer your skills or transfer those opportunities. But I think also the point here is that once it is legal, the only thing I would say the difference between pre-legal and legal is that you really kind of know what's in your product, if you will. And so like from seed to sale, they're following it. And so
Right.
I don't need to tell you how many times people been a little bit upset about what they get on the black market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like at least there's an opportunity. You agree with me?
Amen.
TJ,
No. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's one of the best things from this. You kind of know what you're going to get, at least, you know. But I definitely believe that if this is going to happen, there has to be a concerted effort to make sure that there's a transition. And part of that is there can't be a barrier if you were incarcerated solely for a marijuana-based only arrest. Because if you were, then that's the first thing that happens. So there's a number of folks that are looking to the legal side, getting records expunged. Now, not for violent crimes, but specifically marijuana arrests stuff. So, you know, this is Women's Herstory Month. But I want to say that when I do this, when I talk about this is like really supporting the black man, because I lost two brothers to drugs, and I lost them not in the physical sense at first, but if anybody had family members that were in this, you know that there is a void when you lose your family members to incarceration or through whatever demons. And like, what ifs come on your heads all the time. What if? And like, you know, there should be something that is geared towards communities that were impacted by this failed war on drugs. And I felt like if there's something that I could do, I would just say something and try to do and make a difference there.
I have a question too. And I don't know. I can assume that it does disproportionately affect communities of color. And I think it does because of the legal ramifications that come up because of this and how we're disproportionately sentenced and just monitored in general. Well, what are some of the, I guess, in best case scenario, what would be a type of other, aside from expunging records, what would be a sort of reparation for those communities who have been affected?
Yeah. So I think when you deal with those communities, so let's first look at, and I'm sorry that I can only speak for New York, but I could give you like two different. I think I give you two different counties in New York that everybody knows to first give you the idea of how you differentiate, right? And so, one, we did research in the top counties, I would say, that had marijuana arrests from 2000 to 2017. So let's say, have you guys heard of, I don't know if you've heard of this county in New York, but let's call it Hamilton. It's called Hamilton. It's Hamilton County. It's probably somewhere in North Country. Mm-hmm. The number of marijuana arrests from year 2000, 2017 was 51. Right. Let's say you all have heard of Kings County, Brooklyn. Right.
That's my county. That's where I'm at.
The same time, 2000 to 2017, 236,905 arrests.
Oh God!
Hold on, this is just for marijuana, or is this for
marijuana arrests?
So like possession.
So 51 to 236,000.
That's crazy.
What's the population disparity there?
Well, it's not even about the population. It's about the amount of arrests, right? So and I can tell you that I can't tell you how many people is in it. And I think an argument may say, well, there's probably more people.
Well, I mean, percentage wise, it can't drastically differ that much.
Well, I have to say, because it really has nothing to do with how many people smoke it. Because it's just about as many people smoke it in all of the counties in New York. But the choice of who gets arrested is up to the law enforcement, the criminal agency.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that even if you said 51 and you said 2000, that's still the issue. So part of the, if you want to call it reparation for that, I think goes into other things besides expunging. I think it deals with when you're distributing licenses, right? There's about 10 licenses that New York State will have from seed to sale, right? And so making sure that you are equitably distributing licenses. I don't know if you do 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 or 1-to-1. You give one to somebody who just got a whole lot of money, and you make sure you give one to the people that came, to someone who could still be qualified and understand the rules, but you prioritize based upon their neighborhood or what they've experienced, right? Another way is also dealing with making sure that there's monies that are going back in. There's going to be a lot of taxes that's coming from the marijuana industry, making sure you reinvest in certain neighborhoods to allow training opportunities, working with unions to provide training opportunities that are going to be engaged. I mean, I definitely don't think everybody should be a bud tender, but that could be that's a new set of jobs now. We're going in the process of everybody's recreating yourself, right, with COVID. So this is an opportunity to try new things. The last thing is looking at the health equity, right? Once you learning more education about it, certainly you don't have to smoke. You can use topical creams. You can use a pill or a gummy. I don't know, all these different things you can use, right, for different ways for affects. But more importantly, like helping out with the costs. If you've ever been to a medical marijuana spot, there's no insurance. It costs a lot of money. And so like that could be a barrier for certain communities that just can't afford it. So, I mean, I think there are a number of things that that go with it, but primarily, Bel-Ami, it's really about the money that comes in for taxes shouldn't just be going towards like transportation or infrastructure. It should be going back into neighborhoods that have been that probably won't be able to walk in right now and get paid. Like
it doesn't mean gentrification.
Yeah, I can't say that again.
I said it doesn't mean gentrification.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how much that would probably hurt me if I see my guys that's been out in the corner, right, doing their thing, and then now and they've been like sneaking and trying to make it happen. And now, like, people are making big dollars and they can't get in it. That's not a good thing.
So
yeah.
And I want to I'm gonna show my brother. He had a statement. He said the black market stays the same because the fees involved to have a dispensary is so high that the black market is not going anywhere. And I think like that's one of my things is like, if you legalize it, are the people who could stand to benefit from it, like those people who are currently selling weed illegally, like are they going to be able to take advantage and be able to get the licensing, or is it going to be so much regulation that like they're going to be priced out in a sense, and like they'll be priced out by the people, by the corporations? Like
is that a
we
question,
already
or
know.
Is that a question?
No,
or is that
no, it is my question. Like, because I guess my thing is like, for example, we already know like Philip Morris is one of the biggest investors in the weed market right now because they know that like that's yeah. So it's like, and are they going to hire people that's representative of other cultures, or is it only going to be where you can only get in if you already have the capital kind of deal?
Yeah, I mean, I think with most of it is going to be you're going to have access to capital, and that's why there needs to be other voices to make sure that people can have access to capital. That's the thing. I mean, the idea is get ready. Don't sit around and wait and be like, oh, it's not fair. This is what they're doing to us. Like, if this is a real business and you don't have to just have a dispensary. There's so many other things. It's security. It's like who's making the bags. It's the website. It's so many other businesses that are associated with this. Don't get it twisted. It's not just about selling it.
No. Like and this is by no means me giving stock advice for any, like, because I want to make sure I say this, but Grow Generation, like I bought Grow Generation when they were a $4 stock, and all they do is hydroponic stuff. So like they don't like actually create weed, but they sell all the stuff for you to be able to grow it, right? Mm-hmm. So like I bought it $4 stock. I bought it last year. It's currently at $51.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to belabor that. This my point here. Because I know we all know that if we're interested in something, we'll get interested in it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I didn't, and it's not like I got into this because, as a matter of fact, I had to stop for a minute because I was helping my son recruit for college, and I couldn't like be a weed mom, But it's crazy. But I was, but I did it really, really for the criminal justice stuff, and then I started hearing about economic development. And look, I think there's far many of us that have transferable skills, and that can do it. I mean, I don't know. After a while, they still might. I don't know when they. Like I said, I looked at it as prohibition. I don't see people still selling, like
moonshine
out there. I mean, eventually, it's going to go into a certain direction, and we just got to figure out how we're a part of it.
I have another question for you. Why should we care?
Care about what?
Why should we care about this, or about, like, why should someone who has no vested interest, why should this matter to them?
I think there's an interest as far as the social justice part, as far as a lot of us have relatives that probably were involved in a situation where they were arrested for no reason, just for carrying a little bit or whatever. And we should care because that is dismantled some of our communities. Mm-hmm. That's why we should care. Mm-hmm. That has created voids in our families. And so, like, I think we should care about an opportunity to relieve some of that trigger or that post-traumatic shit, right? That goes with it. That's what I think. And that would be the only thing I would say. I wouldn't say go ahead and get your dispensary. I'm not running to tell people do that. I really am not, because that's your own thoughts, your own morals, or what you want to believe in or what you want to do. Do you want to walk around and say, yo, I sell weed legally? I don't know. Some people may want to do that. But I do think that if people are going to be making money off of something that has held us down, then we should kind of pay attention to, like, how do we get something from this? That's my thinking.
And I mean, to your point, Yasmin, I think it's really huge that like one of the biggest gains from all of this, of the legalization aspect, is that like so many people will be able to have their criminal records expunged for things that like they shouldn't have probably been in jail for anyway, or currently serving time. So, there's now
We're pushing it. He doesn't want to do it, but we're pushing him to do it.
Who's he? Are you talking about Cuomo?
Yeah, the governor. I mean, he has his own. So when we first started, like he didn't even think about that, and so now, like we're moving in that direction to pass the other bill. Like, so there's a back and forth. I mean, you know what it is? It's like who has it? Canada, Massachusetts, now Jersey. So it's more of a competition to me as opposed to that. And so I can't expect you to care about what I want, but if we talking about leveraging, I'm trying to put my stuff in it. And I think that's kind of what politics is about. To me, it's about resources and leveraging as opposed to, as Ricky said, lying.
Well, look, we want to before because we know it's getting late, but this is really a great conversation, and we have our resident guest who always hangs out with us. His name is Kadre. We want to bring him on to see if he has any questions he would like to ask you. What's going on, man?
Hold on, let me turn this down. I'm gonna put my headphones on.
You're learning.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, all right. Now I'm good. What's up, everyone?
Could you let us know where you're checking in from, brother?
Houston, Texas.
Hey, to the disaster.
I so wanted to just share my feelings about what's going on here in the state of Texas, dealing with Abbott and his old craziness and all. But yeah, so Yasmin, I was pretty much kind of in and out the conversation. So I mean, you're supporting starting up like dispensaries for for marijuana, or am I getting that information wrong?
No, I'm supporting like a social equity program with the legalization of marijuana.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah. I believe that to a certain extent it should be legalized, because it does have it can benefit as far as like health wise and medicinal wise, And I
Is
am
it legalized in Texas?
No.
No,
sir.
No.
I did read somewhere that there was like one of our governing officials who was working on kind of like decreasing the punishment for simply being caught with it. Not like
decriminalizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably like just assessing like small fines and all of that, but not having people locked up for it. But that was like a couple of years ago. So just for medicinal purposes, I think they should go ahead and legalize it.
Mm-hmm.
So because they're already extracting what CBD from it, right? From cannabis, right? And so and they're advertising it like crazy. Oh, get this particular healing medicine. It contains CBD oil and all of that. So
I find CBD to be very useful.
I do too.
And my wife uses it a lot. It calms her anxiety, helps her during that time of the month. Just helps her a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was very helpful. It was very helpful to me during like the height of the pandemic. It was very helpful.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure that it was helpful to a whole lot of people.
In fact, out here in California, it was considered an essential service. It never closed down during COVID.
Of course it did.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember the last time I was in California. We were attending ASCAP conference. It was like back in 2013, and by that time they had legalized it in California. We were seeing people smoking it, almost almost everywhere, at least out in, outside in public and everything. So yeah.
Mm.
Okay, well, cool. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, just hearing you speak, Miss Yasmin, I
Yes.
kind of I kind of had to I kind of had like a Stacey Abrams vibe, like as far as like rounding up people to organize and kind of to make a difference, as far as like positively and everything. So yeah, so just
Trey, I'm so glad you said that because that's
yeah.
how I see Yasmin, right? Like
Mm.
she's a real politician because
Yeah.
she's a real person. She's really from the community. And for me, oftentimes, like I love the TV shows that get canceled. You know what I'm saying? Because that means they must have said something real in
Yeah.
order to no longer have a show. Like
Yeah.
that's who Yasmin is.
Yeah.
She's so real.
Cancel show.
You're the rare
Oh,
album
thank you.
that you
I'm
can't
kidding.
find
Thank you.
because it's like it was such a great piece of art that it's not made anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Look at that
So
boy.
much.
Look at that boy.
That's what I like about Yasmin. She's not
Yeah.
the status quo, and so many
Thank
people are just so used to the fast food and the cereal that they don't know what good home cooking tastes like anymore.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
That boy
I
good.
like
That boy good.
Okay.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if you
He
know
putting it
Harlem, you
together.
gotta know Yasmin. She is definitely one of the upper echelon folks who are
Yeah.
moving and shaking. And then when Harlem is ready to really move,
Yeah.
she is one of those folks that is like, you got to tap Yasmin. You see what she's doing. This is
Yeah.
not just a
Yo.
New York thing. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, though, I mean, but she's doing more. So, like, Yasmin, can you talk a little bit about like these grants, especially for our New York listeners?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And just real quick, I think during the time of the pandemic, like I said, everything was like kind of slow, right? So a lot of us were not getting like our nails done and everything and feet done and everything. So we had some extra coins. And so I just was really moved about a lot of the humanitarian stuff that I saw, people were dealing with food insecurity and, people were just helping everybody. So I just decided I wanted to give out like a couple of mini grants to people that were just doing really feel good stuff. And like I woke up and I didn't know how to do it. And so I just read about how to do it. And I announced it in January. And like if you couldn't have a business, but if you were like a not-for-profit or if you was an individual or if you a group of people that just wanted to do something good in your community, like start a podcast or like do a coat drive or something like that. If they just filled out the application and it looks good, then we'll see. I announced it on MLK Day this year, and right now I closed the applications. We're reviewing them, and by the end of March we'll make the announcements. And so it should really good stories. People are really trying to do the right thing, and sometimes they just need a little nudge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So are you thinking about doing like a second round after this current round?
Yeah, actually, I am, and I also got like some anonymous supporters, so they matched whatever I was giving
Wow.
to increase the number of grants. And so if it's fun and it's not crazy, because you know how it is, like you say, okay, fill out the Google form, and then everybody sends you a text. So you're like, guys, you gotta follow the directions, and then like your relatives, and you have to say, so one of the rules, you can't be my relative, you can't, you gotta create the rules from it, but it's extremely fun. I mean, I said if this is fun again, I'll do it next year, or maybe the end of half of next year,
Yeah.
last
So
year, the other year.
Yeah, so I just put the information up at the bottom for those if you are listening and you are in New York and you want to check it out, that is the information for you to be able to go to.
Yeah. Now for clarity, just in case there are people watching and say, "Oh, They might be thinking, could Dre smoke? No, I don't. I don't smoke anything.
Wait,
Listen,
what's wrong with
it's
smoking weed,
okay.
man?
You can smoke if you want.
What's wrong with smoking weed, man?
But I do think that like I said, I would reiterate that I do feel they should legalize it to a certain extent for medicinal purposes.
Okay.
I thought he said, but I do drink. I swear that's what you said.
So I mean, I will take a sip of Moscato like occasionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Kadre, man, thank you for popping in, bro. As always.
Yeah.
We're gonna send you backstage, but thanks for that input, brother.
Yeah. Hey, man, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dre.
I'll sit around.
All right.
All right. Well, Yasmin, before we let you go, can you please give the people your socials and all that great stuff? Where can they find you and all that?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to build up my followers. So Yasmin Hurston on IG. And so that's good.
Just Yasmin at Yasmin Hurston.
At Yasmin Hurston. YASMINHURSTON. And I think that's the best way. You know how it is now. And I appreciate, listen, I really appreciate coming on here and sharing the time with you gentlemen. You guys are real kings and you guys are free. And I love it because you guys talk about everything. I really loved watching you with your son on your lap while you were saying some really crazy stuff. But, you know, hey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's better for him to know his father now than later.
My daddy likes gaps. What did you say, Chad?
You know what? You know what it means to wear a dashiki and a kurta. What is it called again?
Kurta.
A kurta, right? Mm-hmm. And we know what it does. So. I learned a lot. So, I mean, I just want to say thank you again. You guys are doing great things, and whatever I can do to support, I'll do that. Thanks again.
Cool. Well, we definitely appreciate you, and definitely appreciate DJ Elbow Greasy for reaching out to you to have you on. Stay backstage in the green room for a little bit so we can connect. We're going to wrap up here shortly. All right.
All right, great. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Peace, guys.
All right. Well, this has been another episode. Ricky, you want to wrap us up there?
Yes, definitely wrap us up, man. All right, guys. Let's just hop right into this ending. I don't know if I should introduce myself all over again, but no, I'm going to do this. You guys know who I am. Find me rpgm.us, but I just want to share this with you guys real quick. We talked about a lot of different things today. One of the main things that kept sticking out with all the information that we were giving is that understanding how to apply the information that you got. Right. It's a lot of stuff out there. And I always say it makes no sense to have a lot of information and not know how to apply it. I think education is elevation. All right. Mm-hmm. The more you know, the more you should apply it. The problem is that we have so much information and you feel like you don't know what to do with it. That puts you in a place where you're stuck at. Okay. Now, with all the information you get, what you end up doing, what you should do is find somebody who understands the information that you got and allow them to teach you how to apply it. Okay. So the more you know, the more you should grow. All this information that we're given, we talk from politics, we talk about sex, we talked about drugs, we talk about literally everything. All right. Now, with all the information you get, and decide how you want to apply it to your life and how does it make sense to your life. Have an amazing night, y'all.
Well, all right. Well, there you have it, y'all. That is another episode, our longest one yet, at 2.5 hours. But it's been great. We really appreciate
first guest ever, by the way.
Yeah, first guest ever, by the way. And we really appreciate everyone who stuck through all of it. Like, that's really dope. So shout out to let me see. I'm sure it's Kadre, definitely Cherie, definitely. I think my brother is still on here too. But definitely appreciate y'all who have stuck through this whole entire deal. Please make sure that you go like, subscribe, share this podcast with as many people as possible. We are trying to make this the next biggest thing. And so, we would love for y'all to, give the gift of free agents to someone else. All right. So with that being said, this is the Free Agent Podcast, and we will see you all next week.
Peace, people.
Peace out.
Can y'all hear the music?
Now we can.
Yeah, we can hear it now.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, go to music.
Hey, thanks for checking in. Yeah.
Damn hours.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Make sure you follow, like, subscribe. We didn't say it all tonight.
We didn't say it all tonight.
Like, subscribe. Create. Click the bell notification icon too, so you can be notified whenever we got shows going. Is that it?
Yeah. You can end it.
Hey, yo, thanks for checking in. Yo, good job seeing you, fam. Yo, what's up, man?
What up, y'all? Go follow.
That was the best shit ever, man. Oh, I see you with your son. Oh, yo, what's up, fam? Good to see you, yo. Oh my god. I thought it was a prank. I was like, am I smoking some good ass weed?